1996 movie from the era of, 90s special effects, directed by Rob Cohen, starring Sylvester Stallone. Daylight. Yeah, this is an hour and 55-minute movie, so it's almost 2 hours when it gets started. It's got a great cast in it. Some people, the critics hated this because they were like, it's unrealistic. It's a movie, guys. Just enjoy yourselves. Stop trying to put realism into something that's fictional. Because I'm getting tired of that argument that it's unrealistic. I'm like, you think Speed is realistic? Because it's not. The movie gets started right away. It doesn't waste an hour of build-up. This is a very underrated film from '96. I saw it when I was like 12 because it came out in December. So when it came out on VHS, I saw it. I was like, wow, this is actually way better than this thing. It's not. Twister's a better movie because, the characters are way more likable, but still, Daylight. It's a disaster movie underwater, in a tunnel in New York City. There's Amy Brenneman, Viggo Mortensen. This is an early role from before. He was in Lord of the Rings. Dan Hedaya, J.O. Sanders from Angels in the Outfield. I just saw him in that. Karen Young, Claire Bloom, Vanessa Bell Calloway. You also have Colin Fox. Yeah, rest in peace, man. He just died this year. Daniel Harris is in this movie. Trina McGee. Uh, she's Stallone's son, Sage Stallone, is in this movie. It's got a hell of a cast. Um, McGee was Angela in the later seasons of Boy Meets World. Yeah, I forgot that Colin Fox is in this movie, but I'm still gonna do this in his memory. I miss him a lot. He's a Canadian actor. He's a Canadian actor. He was a really good Canadian actor, man. I've been through tunnels. It's pretty scary because you don't know what it's an enclosed space where you're above water, you're below water. You don't never know what could happen. Yeah, like the Lincoln Tunnel, the Holland Tunnel, those are pretty intense. I'm not even afraid of bridges because at least bridges you can see what's going on. Oh yeah, and Randy Elderman did this music too. He was the same composer that did Angels in the Outfield, but I'm not gonna cry in this one. This isn't as emotional as that. There's the black guy who dies, of course, because that was such a cliche in the '90s that if a black man was in a horror movie or a disaster movie, they have to die eventually. Sometimes they don't. That's why I liked Superman. I loved Superman because Mr. Terrific doesn't die. He doesn't. Because in X-Men First Class, he's the first to go, that actor. And that was sad. A character that can survive anything and he's the first to go. Yeah, how could you defend a movie like that? I can't. I'm, this is a very underrated movie. Stallone should not be embarrassed by this because Rob Cohen went on to do Fast and the Furious, the first one, not those terrible sequels that came out recently, and Triple X, the first one with Vin Diesel. Is that the black woman from Coming to America that was barking like a dog? Like, yeah, again, my preference, Josh, mine preference. I'm attracted to your people. I am. I'm sorry. I just black women are just sexiest women in the world. What could? No, her accent is fake, but she's a good actress. Yeah, my preference. I find Rihanna, Beyonce, and all these other girls way more desirable than any Spanish girl. Sorry, just that's my preference. If I had a choice, I would choose a black girl every time, with hair, with no British accent. Here's the gorgeous Amy Brenneman. I saw her when I was a kid in this, and Casper. She had a cameo in that. It was a extended cameo as Bill Pullman's dead wife. She's such a good actress. I know some people say she complains a lot in this movie, but I'm like, she's living in a crappy apartment in Manhattan and goes through all this with Stallone. And she doesn't die, by the way. And she has a computer, too. Oh, that's disgusting. Ugh. I'm glad I ate already. Trust me, I know what it's like to live in an apartment like this. I lived in 3 of them in Brooklyn. So, I know what it's like. She loses everything because she leaves his apartment and then she ends up with Stallone, in that tunnel for pretty much the entire film. And even when they get out, she has to go with him because he has nowhere to live. Yes, there's a lot of characters in this movie. That's why it's almost 2 hours. But I don't hate them. I know I should. I don't like their complaints because it's like, ancient times. But I get it. People complain when they don't get their way. I was just like, I've never seen this movie. Then see it. I know it's hard to stream because you have to BitTorrent these movies now. If you don't own it or rent it or watch it on cable, yeah. This, this is when she sees a rat in the trash. Oh, disgusting. Yes, I saw one of those. I know. I've seen them. I saw one in my house last year, and it's not my fault either. That's what happens when you drill into the ground. What do you think is going to happen? There's Viggo Mortensen, King Aragorn himself. Yes, he did movies before he was King Aragorn in Lord of the Rings. He gives one. He gives a very inspirational speech in Return of the King, even though the movie's too long. I like him more than Matthew McConaughey. I know that's going to say a lot. Yeah, yeah. Because Lord of the Rings meant a lot more to me than anything McConaughey's done. The best McConaughey movie is Interstellar because it's so visually stunning. It's too long. This day we fight. I love that. It's one of the best speeches in any fantasy movie. Would love to meet him. I know a lot of people love him for Lord of the Rings, and I get it because he's a great actor. But he's been good in other things too. This, even though it's not a major role, and he was good in History of Violence, a David Cronenberg movie. It's pretty intense. Yeah, that movie's like, man. He plays a father that's with his family up in the mountains, and there's a lot of. It's a very dark movie. hmm I might do a podcast for that one in the fall. Hey, look, a Weimaraner. Yeah, my late uncle used to have that. There's Colin Fox. Rest in peace, man. Thank you for all your great performances. Yeah, I miss him a lot. This came out. You know what the problem is? This movie came out so late in 1996 that it was overshadowed by Independence Day. Yeah, that movie was a huge hit, and this movie was a flop. It's a shame because it came out in the same year. You also had Twister, Prisoners. That's Stallone's son, Sage. Rest in peace as well. Stallone doesn't show up until like about 10, 15 minutes into the movie. They're setting up the characters so that, yeah, I don't commit crimes. I love my freedom. There's the bridge. It's a really good looking film, and the effects still hold up. Yes, I said it. It's a very underrated movie because people think that it's 96 so the effects are dated. No, this movie's intense. When I first saw this in 97, I was on the edge of my seat. There's Stallone. I love Stallone, man. Still my favorite action star for the past, present, and the future. There's the World Trade Center. Yeah, I don't want to upset anybody, so 9/11, I will not be doing any movies in New York. I don't want to upset anybody, so that lost family that day. So there's J.O. Sanders. He's not a villain in this movie. There's Danielle Harris. Beautiful girl. I love you. She's so cute. This is when she was a teen, after the Halloween sequels, and after Last Boy Scout and all these other things. She's adorable, man. If I met her at Comic Con, I'm saying you are adorable. Because why not? You only have one chance to make a first impression. Yeah. hmm An Asian man. Yeah, there's not a lot of Asian in this movie. This feels like this feels like a scene from another movie. Weird, right? Gangsters in the street. I'm like, this is not a street crime film. This isn't like a Die Hard or Lethal Weapon. There's a tunnel. 嗯 This guy has a tattoo on his face. Weird. These guys look like gangsters from like a RoboCop movie or from The Dark Knight Returns. The tunnel is the main spot of the movie. 90% of the movie is in that tunnel. Once Stallone and the rest of the gang get in there, the rest of the film takes place underground. 1918. Irish immigrants. I'm not Irish. Because I would rather follow these people than anybody in Jurassic World. You know, that are not from the original films. Because most of them are not likable characters. Because Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard and the clone girl and the freaking those two kids in the first one, yeah, I don't care about them. I don't. Not in those films, anyway. So the dog is in the car too. But dogs can swim. Yeah, they do look like gangsters from a RoboCop movie. A prison bus. Because a tunnel is isolated. There's no exits. There's only the side bars, where you could walk, and that's about it. There's no like escape hatch like a bus or something like in Speed or an emergency exit. Yep. Same to you, buddy. Yeah, she leaves and then New York is worse now than it was in 96 because this was before 9/11. This was before the pandemic. This is before prices went up. and now they have to pay. You have to pay to go through Manhattan if you're like a service car or something. I don't know. I just take the train. When I go to Manhattan in October to Comic Con, I never pay a toll. Hell no. I just pay for the ride and to get on the train, and I go across the bridge, and I'm safe. That's all I care about. See the explosion. That's what causes the. These effects still look great. No, hobo, no! Again, it's blowing up. Danielle Harris is basically the. Remember the camera guy, T.J. Miller from Cloverfield? That's her, but she's just younger. They would have been dead. If this was a reality, that car would have been roasted. No way they survived that. But it's a movie, guys, not a documentary. In a documentary, those people would have been dead. They would have been incinerated. Fire burns. I know. You ever been near the stove on a hot day? Yeah. Burn it down. Ooh, oh, oh. I love Seth Rollins has one of the best theme songs I've ever heard because he used to have Burn It Down and it was different. Now it's got that oh, it's so great, man. And it's the perfect occasion for it. There's a lot of fire in this movie, a lot. Again, suck it, War of the Worlds 2025. You don't know how to do a good movie if your life depended on it. Whoever directed that movie with those god awful effects of the asylum and wasting Ice Cube's talent, yeah, you should be ashamed of yourself. Ashamed. When a movie from over 30 years ago looks better than you. Yeah, because this movie has tension. It's PG-13, but it has tension. You don't know what. See, that guy's on fire. That's real fire. It's not CGI. They only use CG for a couple of shots of this movie. And Stallone's an unlikely hero because he's not. He doesn't work in the tunnel. He was just a cab driver. Also in the 90s, you had Volcano, Dante's Peak, and Armageddon. A lot of disaster movies came out in the 90s and the 2000s. But they're interesting. Even though it sucks what happens to these people, it's still interesting to see what happen. You know how they get through it. Roland Emmerich didn't do this movie because he was doing Independence Day, and I love Independence Day. Stallone, he does everything he can to help these people. That's what it's all about, man. Life is about survival, not making excuses. These people suffer, let me tell you. We're only 18 minutes in and the explosion happened. Sage Stallone doesn't play his son in this movie. See, New York has been through a lot of disasters. There was a bombing in 1993 in the World Trade Center before 9/11. So, if people didn't know that could happen again, they shouldn't have put their guard down. I don't let my guard down, guys, ever. Tennessee, nothing bad happens over there. There's probably a hurricane every now and then, but trust me, it's a rainy day today, so this is the perfect movie to see on a day like this. Because later on, I'm going out. Rob Cohen is a good director. I like his stuff. Even The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, I like it better than the 2017 movie because it has some good effects in it. Yeah, some of the CG is a little dated, but I don't hate it. It's not as horrendous as yeah. There's Jurassic Park. Yep, that's a Jurassic Park toy. That's not a coincidence. This is a Universal movie, and Jurassic Park, not World, the original, because this is before Lost World came out, so it was the original. I know, I know. This is a disaster movie. People have to die. You saw the Jersey Tunnel. At least Stallone's not phoning it in this movie. Do not enter. Houston Street. I was around that area back in May. There's a tunnel in Houston Street. The score is good. It's not as inspirational as the Dragonheart or Angels in the Outfield, but it's pretty intense. Endelman is a very underrated musical composer. Yeah, he is Edelman. Because I went through 9/11, Josh. You didn't. You were a little kid. You don't even know what was going on. I saw those towers get destroyed, and it was scary. It looked like one of these movies, but it really happened. But I survived because I am a survivor. I don't make excuses. Okay? When I say I love a girl, I mean it. I don't run away from it. I don't fight the feeling. Who's gonna judge me? No. There's only one that can judge everybody, and that's not YouTube or Facebook. Let me tell you. But back to the movie anyway. I don't want to depress anybody. And people make fun of Stallone's acting. No, he's good in this. Danadea. Danadea was in Judge Dredd, right? Was he? No, he wasn't in Judge Dredd. That was Armando Santa. He was in Commando. He was one of the villains in Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Kid. Savola was not a kid in this. This is intense, man. I haven't done a disaster movie in a while. I'll do Dante's Peak in September or November because Heather Stevens is in the movie and she's just delicious, man. Yeah, people are dead. This is traumatic for a teenager. I saw this when I was a preteen, so I rented it at the video store when I was like 12 or 13. Yeah, Because back in the day, boys and girls, movies didn't come out on streaming a month after they came out. No, when they in the '90s, they came out on Laserdisc or VHS like months after they came after the movie was in theaters, even if it flopped. Sometimes it took a year because Phantom Menace didn't come out on VHS until like a year after it was in theaters. Yeah, a year, not a month. There's Viggo Mortensen. Of course, he doesn't live in this movie because he's not the main character. He's so intense, man. Yeah. I may not have went to line it up because I heard about it. Yeah, it was a tragedy. I was 16 years old when that happened. If I could get through that, I could get through anything. No one's judging you. Yeah, no one's judging me because, like I said, this is a movie that I enjoy that happened in New York City, and I sat through it. A movie like this would not come out after 9/11 because people are so scared. I mean, look at the new War of the Worlds movie. That wasn't even in theaters. That was on Amazon Prime. I think, yeah, there's the dog. Yeah, it was Boomer in Independence Day. You know, it was not a Weimaraner. It was a Golden Retriever, I think. Right? Yeah, I think so. Always save the dog. Yeah, those are real flames. That's not CGI. Hold on. A lot of people suffer in this movie. Yeah, not just alone, but everybody else. Those prisoners are dead. Yeah, some of them die. An electrical cord. Because in a disaster, there are no good guys and bad guys. We're all human. We all make mistakes. Trust me, I know. I made several of them this year. Taking a break from YouTube was not one of them. I needed the break. Freedom. From the bus, they still have to be trapped in the tunnel for most of the film. Okay, that was kind of funny. We freedom. They did their time and, well, they got out. Some of them do die, though. Like the black guy, of course he dies. You can't be a biatch. Sorry. Nobody gets ahead in life by being scared of everything. Trust me, I went through the one of the worst tragedies of all, and even Sandy, when that hit in 2012, I made it. I made it. I survived in this house. The storm was for hours. It stopped the next day, and I didn't have electricity in my house for 3 days. Told you, I'm a survivor. What's this guy on the spectrum or something? Electricity and human body does not make. Hmm. We're 32 minutes in, and all of this has happened. Again, that's not going to work in real life. She have to take her boots off. Show the American flag, yeah. For now. Geez, Stallone just happens to be there. This is intense, man. Ooh, that was close. And that's not even the worst of it. What is that? A treasure chest? Oh no, it's a casket. It's a model. I want to lie down a little bit. This woman, I don't know who she is. They probably wanted Carrie Ann Moss, but she was going to do The Matrix a few years later. Oh no, I don't want to break this DVD player because then I have nothing to watch it on. Gonna have to. I'll just put this down here. Not a kid. Three hours. Again, he's not a kid. It is, yeah. The fan. The fans. That's better. Mm-hmm. Used to have a camera like that. Her battery's running low. Yeah, I used to film with a video camera like that back in the 2000s. No, you won't. Because Viggo Mortensen is not the lead character in this movie. He's a side character. There we go. That's good. It's an intense movie. Like, it's all because of a couple of criminals blew up a car. The fans. He gives it back and then she cries because he doesn't make it. And the thing is, he doesn't just die instantly. He like breaks his legs. He's paralyzed, so he can't leave the tunnel. This would be terrifying for me because I go through the tunnel every time I go to Manhattan with my family. Again, Stallone is not a kid in this movie. He was like in his 30s when he did this. His 30s or 40s when he did this. 41 minutes in, yeah. $30 seconds. A big freaking wrench. Turbines. Yep, it's set up again. 45 seconds. Uh-oh. It's pretty intense, man. Because doing this will just get you hurt. That thing goes this blinding speed. You'll get shredded to like pizza. Like cheese on a pizza. Uh-oh. It's gonna start up again. All this just to save a bunch of ungrateful people. But again, in a desperate times comes for desperate measures, man. Oh. Another second. This is worse than a Sonic level. And there's the 1 second mark. Hello. Crazy, man. He has to run like Sonic in a circle. In this movie, he's not using a gun or punching people. That's probably why they didn't want to see Stallone in a movie like this. It's intense, man. I wonder if they have this movie on Blu-ray. I think they do. He doesn't even see these people until about an hour into the movie because Viggo Mortensen's trying to get them out, but he's going the wrong way. It's funny, it's called Daylight, and they don't see daylight until the end of the film. Some of them, not everybody dies here. That would have been depressing. Because in a movie like The Perfect Storm or Earthquake, yeah, everybody dies in that. That's a downbeat ending. I don't like that. The sewers. Are the Ninja Turtles in there? He made it. That's his son. Not yet. Can't hear. Look at the dog. You can't hear. Yeah, you notice people are not. No, you notice no one's on the cell phone in this movie because again it was '96. Mm-hmm. You that black guy dies. Most of the black people die in this movie, except for the girl that plays Angela in Boy Meets World and the girl, the island girl, because again it was the '90s, guys. It was a different time. It's like I'm in charge. You're a prisoner. You're lucky you got out of that bus. But if you hated some of these characters, some of them do die. So Viggo Mortensen's not the problem because he's trying to get them out and he dies. That fire would have blown up that entire tunnel. Luckily, the tunnel's full of water and not oil, or it would have blew up. So, say Stallone wanted to go through the tunnel. When people are strapped together, there's tension. Yep, you saw oil is spilling. Mm-hmm. It is. No, he doesn't. Yep. Debris falls. I always make it, and he gets squished. Debris falls on him. Told you this is not his movie. Yep, he dies. Yep, the black guy dies. See, you're not in charge. You're just another statistic in this movie. Plus, he was a criminal. I was supposed to care about him? No. This guy's a good actor. I forgot who he is. The guy that the old man that's in the office. That's Real Flames. Oh, he's dead. No, he's dead. He got a metal spike right to his thumb. Nope, you're not a main character. You blew up. They might as well have killed Finn off in The Force Awakens because he fights Kylo, loses, and then in the next movie he's a joke. Yep, he's dead. He wasn't the first to die though, but I'll give him that. But trust me, the whole movie would have been much worse if he was alive and complaining the whole time trying to attack Stallone. Yep, the water's coming in. It is a tunnel, and you're up below water. I agree. It's a lot. It's very intense. When I saw this as a preteen, I was like on the edge of my seat, and I saw this at home, not in the theater. I wish Rob Cohen would go at Comic Con. He could sign this for me or other films. Because I have the first Fast and the Furious and Triple X and even uh even Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. Mm. Yeah, she was a teenager in this in 1996 because Danielle Harris was a little girl in the 80s when I was a kid. Life is about survival, not making excuses. If you're gonna move, just move already. Stop making excuses. The year's almost over. When are you gonna move in 2027? God, my brother moved 2 years ago and he had a plan. It's intense, man. Yeah, of course the black guy has to die too. hmm And this movie's not that long, because Independence Day is a little bit too long. Like 2.5 hours is a lot. That movie had a lot of characters I didn't care about. Mainly some of the side characters that die. Yeah, a nice quiet moment in the movie. That's rare in this film. Because later on they see the rats, and then there's the scene they have to swim, and they have to walk out of a manhole like the Ninja Turtles. And it's not played for laughs. This movie is mostly serious. Hold on. Mm-hmm. She's wearing the same pants that Megan wore. She wore those in similar pants in Trancers too. Yes, they do. During the pandemic, a lot of people went to the theater after when the theaters reopened. These effects still hold up. They do because it's practical. They could have easily done. This could have easily been a CGI fest, but no, they wanted the tension to still be in the movie. They used some CG at the end, but this was also in Die Hard with a Vengeance. Remember a year before this? Remember when uh, McClane goes into the tunnel? Look at that water. You can't really call this a Die Hard movie because Die Hard, the hostages weren't with John McClane in the movie. He was by himself mostly. Score is really intense. It's a good stunt because again, it's real water. This isn't James Cameron's Avatar Way of Water where everything looks fake. Here, they really did it with real water and real people. So, yeah,
We're an hour in, an hour and 6 minutes. We got about 40 something minutes left. Yeah, because it's an hour and 55, but the last 5 minutes are end credits usually. There we go. This movie's so intense, man. Uh oh. It's like a rolling barrel. Yeah, they have to break some tension in the movie because it's so intense. Because they're isolated. This movie was a perfect movie to watch during the pandemic because, a lot of people were watching disaster movies and isolated movies like uh, Alien or what was that other movie? Outbreak. That was another big movie that people were watching during the pandemic. Or Contagion. Hmm. Critics just didn't find this intriguing after three major disaster movies in 1996. Mm-hmm. Because you had this Independence Day and Twister. Mm-hmm. Aliens destroying things, tornadoes, and this, and underground disaster. There he goes. The black guy gets sucked into the water. He doesn't drown. He gets injured. He can't move. See? Yep, he's done. The movie's almost over. It's like halfway done. 70 minutes in. You can't make it. At least they try to help him. Yeah, they got him out, but still, he still dies. He can't walk. He doesn't make it. Poor George. It's not his fault. Poor guy. Colgate. There's the layout of the city. This is when you could smoke in a PG-13 movie. She's right. No. Stallone can act. I know people say that he can't, but he still got it. Hold on. Where are these pants for today? It's not gonna be hot today, so wear these pants later. These people are and they're upset, and I get it. Look at the dog, George. Yeah, George has to be left here because he can't walk. Yeah, this is way more intense than Angels on the Outfield. There was tension in that movie, but not this much tension. Where there's a will, there's a way. Yep, there's a way. There's always a way out, like an emergency exit or something. You'd think they would build these tunnels without an escape route. Kazoo tight. Lanterns. That dog is so quiet. Yeah, me too. See, these people had some losses. It's a good dog. It's a good dog. It's a German dog. And my uncle used to have one when I was 11. Her name was Sky.
And the movie's mostly in the tunnel. The, see, the dog is very quiet, and it swims out of there too. Yeah, George has no chance of surviving because he can't move. Yeah, unfortunately, he has to die. Hmm. Daylight, yep. Title drop. Well, a couple of them still die. They can't move. Yeah, because even if they found him, he won't be able to move again. So he's floating away. Bye, George. The music is really good. It's a lot of water. Mhm. Even the dog does it. It's real water too. Again, James Cameron has no excuses because after Titanic, he used real water in Titanic, but in the Avatar's movies, why not real water? Why do you have to have CGI water? I know what water looks like, dude. I live near a lake for crying out loud. That's real water. It's not CGI. I could live in the real world, not some acid trip of a fantasy world like you do. I'll do The Abyss because that's a better movie than Avatar or Avatar Way of Water. Look at the dog. Dogs can swim, see? They could dog paddle. The water's so dirty, too. Because they're underground. This scene. Yeah, hypothermia. You don't want to get hypothermia. I don't know. This is spam. No, Cooper's okay. The dog doesn't die in this movie. It's intense. 90 minutes in. So we got about 20 minutes left. Rats. I remember Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade? Yeah. Real rats, too. Those are not digital, they're real. I know, I saw a rat last year. He's not even moving. See, she's like, I don't even care. Master Splinter. The rats know where to go. Behind the statue. I'm not going to say what it is. Yeah, the rats know where to go. Rats are not stupid. Yeah, please. The wife is dead. She probably died of hypothermia. Yeah, she's gone. The dog makes it, but not her. prisoners last a lot longer than I thought. Only one of them died. The black guy, because he was a mean. Look at the rats. The dog does make it out. I thought the dog died. I was like, please don't kill the dog in this movie. This isn't John Wick. Ugh. Glow stick. We're almost done. See, I show emotions here. I don't have to hide my emotions. All that weight. The dog. The dog made it. It's an animal. No. He goes to get him. Come on, puppy. It's a real dog. No animals were harmed in this movie. Nope, Stallone is all by himself now. Stallone survives, man. Yep, she fell because he can't be alone. Yep, he did this in Cliffhanger. Is the sun coming out? I don't know. They have to get flushed out, literally.
This is why in Casper she has such a small role. Hmm. Yeah, Kit Latour is his name, Kit. And these people are tired. They've been in this tunnel for like probably an entire day. And when they get out, some of them get out. It's daylight. Mm-hmm. It's daytime. So they were here probably all night and all morning. Mm-hmm. They get flushed, literally like flushed down the toilet. I saw that in the trailer when she gets flushed down and then phew, they shoot right into the sea. Yep, there they go. They got out. You saw the manhole. Even the prisoners get out. She's the first one to get out. Angela from Boy Meets World. Yeah, women and children first. So the girls got out. Danielle Harris is next. Because she's the youngest. I don't know how old the dog is, but yeah. See? Tragedy brings people together. That's her, yeah, that's the lady that's with J.O. Sanders. Sly Stallone, yeah, rest in peace, man. It's a shame what happened to him after this movie. Years after this movie. That's why people need to get help while they can. Because life is so short, man. Oh, see, she doesn't see George. She knows he didn't make it. Yeah, and also they could barely breathe down there because there's not a lot of air in a tunnel. And the dog, yeah, get the dog. Always save the dog, man. They give her an injection, yeah. So because there probably were like so many germs down there. J.O. Sanders, yeah. At least he, unlike Ranch Wilder, he has a happier ending here, even though his, uh, tube. It's a good performance. She knows George didn't make it. Yeah, they don't get out through there. Stallone and Amy Brenneman gets shot out. The performances are good in the movie. You could say what you will about the writing and some of the characters, complaining, but I get it, guys. Human beings have needs, and survival is one of their needs. Why do you think we need food, water, and shelter? Because those are necessities. She knew that George didn't make it because he wasn't pulled out. Him, the other black guy, and Viggo Mortensen died. Well, Amy, you're still alive. Exactly. The Stallone's elite. Stallone is just the best, man. He could make anything yelling seem so epic. If you've seen the first Rambo movie, First Blood, yeah, it's a great speech. It still holds up. I haven't done that movie yet, but I can stream it somewhere because I have the Blu-ray, but it's not uh it's not soundproof because you know how YouTube hounds people for having any footage or any music. So I use headphones when I can. Here we go. Time to blow things up. Michael Bay didn't do a movie like this until years later, because a year after this he did The Rock, and that's more like a prison movie. And I think Armageddon was his first, wasn't it? Yeah, that was his first. That was in '98. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Yep, there was a dead body there. Yeah, they get sucked up. This is a great effect. This is probably the only CG in the movie because they use mostly practical effects in this movie. This scene, it's like the scene at the end of Twister, except with water, not air. What's that? Whee! Yep, she got sucked in. That was in the trailer. There they are in Manhattan, the river. Again, real water, James Cameron, real water. Not CGI water. The only CG was when they get sucked in. Because that was the only thing they couldn't do practically because it's. But it looks good. It doesn't look fake like, oh, that looks like a PS1 game. No, it looks good. For 1996, it looks better than any disaster movie that came out this year. Or last year, like Twisters. There's a boat. A rescue boat. Stallone is just messed up. They made it. And this wasn't spoiled in the trailer. There it is. Yeah, I know. The Twin Towers. I know. That would be a disaster 5 years after this movie came out. But I survived. He's shaking because the water was so cold. At least it doesn't have a downbeat ending. Not. At least he tried. He got a lot of people out of there. There's the Verrazano Bridge. That goes to Staten Island. Yeah. See, it's a good movie. I like this movie. It's enjoyable. There it is. I know the World Trade Center. I know. Rest in peace to those people that lost. That was Daylight, guys. It holds up. An hour and 48 minutes. See? Just like the movie I did yesterday. And if you've never seen it, see it now. Because this is way better than that stupid War of the Worlds movie that came out this year. Because it actually is competently made. It's got a good director, good actors, and mostly good writing. It's There's some characters that are dumb, but again, they get them out of the way early. So thanks for watching. See this movie if you can. Give it a shot. It's a very underrated action thriller. So acknowledge me, and I'll see you guys not tomorrow. I'm gonna take a break tomorrow, and I'll do another podcast Friday. I'll probably do the game plan or something. But see you then.